Cory Booker is being criticized for some comments he made about race and blackface. Ben teased this already for you pretty well, so we have the video for you.
Sometimes when folk want to tell the truth about something, they fear speaking the truth or talking to people about what they don't understand. I've had conversations with white friends of mine this week who just had this safety that come to me and ask me, I don't understand this blackface thing. Can you explain it to me? Imagine in this climate now saying that publicly. Imagine, put yourself, want to have more courageous empathy, put yourself in a white person's position who might have questions.
So that's what he's getting.
I didn't know we were going to end on my face. Sorry about that there. Yes, that's my reaction to that, though. I don't know, what do you?
Well, let's get your reaction to that.
I think this was a bit of a layup, and I think he's just set the ball down. I think this is the second time he's being criticized. Many people on Twitter think he missed the mark. And of course, you'll remember, like, this comes pretty soon after the criticism he was just getting for kind of beating around the bush when he was asked if he thought President Trump was racist.
Mm-hmm. And he gave the standard, I can't tell you what's in his heart, right?
Right.
Yeah. I don't object to this.
Okay.
Mostly this just feels like man, so now we're gonna get mad at Cory Booker today?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, like, I got it. He didn't do great, right? It wasn't a great answer, but it's, I don't know, you're speaking extemporaneously, you were trying, and the extra pressure that, you know, that we now, at least, well, you knew it always. I'd like to think I knew it for a while, but you know, there was never a day that Barack Obama wasn't the first black president, right?
Sure.
Every decision he makes, sort of that's, and I think that there's a school of thought that led to some of his equivocating, right? And some of his desire to make deals with people who really weren't that interested in making deals with him.
But now we're equivocating on just like a simple conversation. And it's almost like when you look at the issue of blackface, right? So you have like one person who does something really, really racist, another group of people who are saying, hey, this hurts us.
I'm sorry. That hurts you? How? How does that hurt you? In what way does a person dressing up like a person of your race hurt you? Doesn't do anything to you. Doesn't do a damn thing to you.
Just the starting point for the conversation, maybe it doesn't necessarily need to be on how you can help make this person more comfortable. And then, of course, we're friends. We have had, you know, like deep we're friends. You have conversations with your friends. You don't need a presidential candidate to tell you how to talk to your friends.
That's right.
But everyone else, Google is free. And it's amazing.
Google is free? Oh, okay. So Google has all the answers then? So when you're offended by something, I'm just supposed to go to Google and find out why you're offended by something. That's not the treatment that you're giving Thomas Booker a moment ago. When he said, I don't know what's in President Trump's heart. Oh, that's a wishy-washy answer. We can't accept that. But I'm not allowed to know what's in your heart. I have to go to Google and figure that out. Because Google is black and knows everything in every black person's heart. Are you kidding me? You people are ridiculous.
Amazing.
Yeah,
I mean?
I just mean, like, but what did he say other than, like, you know, saying that he had friends, I guess, to put yourself in a white person's shoes?
Yeah,
I mean,
which puts the onus on the like oppressed people, on the harmed people, which is a little.
The onus is, there is no onus here. Okay, we're not saying, oh look, you don't like blackface, therefore you're bad. That's not what's being said. If you don't like blackface, I mean, I think the reasoning is, I could be totally wrong here, but I think the reasoning is it's a symbol of the oppression that black people suffered when they were not allowed to do things like be actors. That's it though. That's all in the minds of the person perceiving it though. It's 100% in the mind of the person perceiving it. It has absolutely nothing to do with actual harm done to anybody. At least anybody today. Maybe in the past it was connected to physical harm that was done to people, but it has nothing to do with harm done today.
A little weird in a little unnecessary, I think.
Seems to me he took a pass on it a little bit.
Yeah.
He kind of just, he didn't commit. He sort of worked around the edges. So he certainly didn't step into controversy. And I suspect that was intentional. He didn't want us to step into controversy. So he was trying to play both ends. That's why he gets to that. Well, I can imagine there's pressure on white people who don't understand, because it must be tough to come forward and not understand so you see how he's.
yes, it is tough to come forward when we don't understand, when we know where the word you're pointing at, and be called a racist, because we go, I don't understand. Why is this? Why do you perceive this as an attack on you or a slight against you or something racist? I mean, I just see a person dressing up in a certain way. No big deal. I mean, they're not doing it to hurt you in any way. They're just doing it to have fun or to emulate or simulate, something that they like, or maybe even simulate something they don't like, but they're not necessarily doing it to simulate the race. It's if you're simulating something in, say, a movie, and you're simulating the bad guy, and the bad guy happens to be of a different race. Well, okay, that could be something that they're simulating that they don't like.
Really I think, just trying to take a pass on it a little bit. And I think this goes back to what Ben is saying, which is that, there were moments in the presidency of Barack Obama where you felt like he just is trying he's trying to play it down the middle.
I think, Cory Booker has, it seems important to him, and understandably, and maybe this was one of those days where he's like, I don't really want to be the black candidate running for president today.
Yeah.
I'm the senator from New Jersey running for president today, but today I'd like not to, because however he answers that, it becomes Cory Booker's answers on blackface. And we also have to remember that there's a good chance that he's called for Ralph Northam to resign. But I don't know their history, but there's an excellent chance they're friends, right? I mean, it's the governor of Virginia, and he's a senator governor of Virginia, and he's the senator from New Jersey. There's an excellent chance. I'm sure they obviously know each other.
Yeah, I would imagine that friendship is not very solid, but just some.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just more so. I get it. It wasn't a great answer, but then I have become in the last weeks, months, incredibly sensitive to the now I'm going to sound like a right winger, but I don't mean to. The outrage machine, right?
Oh, gosh.
Like all right here.
Yeah, this is what it's all about. It is the outrage machine. They're talking about something that a man did many, many years ago, and did it not in a way to be malicious. This governor of Virginia. I don't know the whole story. I don't follow the whole story. I haven't followed the whole story, but I know enough to know that this. I mean, he wasn't going around being like, "Oh, look how stupid I am. I'm black." That was not what was happening. You can tell by they're playing a goof. They're having fun. I've seen men dress up as women a lot. Oh, it's female face. It's evil. No. That we can't do that. That's oppressive to trans people. We can't be putting those people down. They have the right to dress however they want to. But when it comes to race, oh no, white people can't dress as black people. Give me a break.
So now who are we? And no, because we on the left do it. Like, who are we pissed off at? Who do we have to take down today? Who failed today in a normal human interaction? Like, I want to be outraged at the things that, here's who you should be outraged at.
But do you know how often
Ralph Northam, like that's a worthy bit of outrage.
For sure. Do you know how often though, like the black community has in situations like this has someone in power standing up saying, put yourself in a black person's position? Think about how often that happens. It's really close to never.
Right, yeah, never.
And right now, specifically in
No, it's really close to all the time. I'm constantly being told I have to think about it the way that black people do. You don't know what it's like to be a black person. You'll never know. You'll never know what it's like. What gives you the right to have an opinion on this because you're not black. Because you're not whatever race. But everybody can have an opinion on the white race and how evil the white race is. So this is just more outrage BS about how people of color are oppressed because they can't be held accountable for their own actions, right? We're constantly told that they need help, they need reparations, they need welfare, they need this, they need scholarships, they need to have special seats at universities because otherwise all those seats are going to go to the Asians or the whites or the Jews or whoever. It's like, yeah, in a free society, that's what happens. It goes to the people who put in the effort to do the best, to be the best, to get the best. Yeah, there probably is some racism going on, but my boss is not white. So, yeah, shouldn't I have his job because he's not white? I am. I should be getting his job, right?
this instance, we have a governor of a state saying, I don't care, I'm not resigning, okay? And reminding you of indentured servants, which was a whole other weird, you know what I mean? Like
indentured servitude and slavery are two different things, okay? Indentured servitude was a temporary situation. Slavery was not a temporary situation. Indentured servants were typically still considered full human beings. Slaves were not considered full human beings. There's big differences between those two things. Really, you can't even get your facts straight on this. Come on, now, you claim to have all the answers because you're black. Claim to have all the answers because you're black. I mean, I've heard it from many different black people, and I have all the answers in this. So you need to shut up and listen, little white boy. But then you're wrong. You're factually wrong about this. So.
Well, think about how often we don't. And so this was another person who stood up and chose not to do that.
Yeah, that's what really.
And that's the problem. How often? Because it's easy to say, oh, he's playing the middle, but he's not playing the middle. He's not playing.
Yeah, you're
this
saying
side.
to not take a position is to take a position.
It does take a position, absolutely.
It's just
he specifically said, put yourself. Oh, care for them.
No, but
I don't understand.
Yes, that's to care for white people. And not only that, you care for black people, care for brown people, care for all kinds of people need to be cared for. But the fact of the matter is, if you're offended by something, you need to explain yourself. I'm offended by lots of things. And guess what I don't do? I don't say, you don't understand, you need to go to Google, because that has the answer for me. No, it does not have the answer for me. If I'm offended by something, it's on me, period.
But
do you know how hurtful it is to just not understand?
and we didn't quite say
You
that.
know, I know. But
And he's also called for the governor to resign. He did do that. So I mean, he's not. It's just like, because just looking at this, you think, oh boy, but he did. He was one of the first. He was like, no, he's got to go. And so good for him on that. And good for Democrats in general, who I thought very quickly recognized that Northam had to resign. Virginia.
Right.
In a tough spot. That is a.
They're in free fall.
They're in, and of course, the great thing, I'm sure, that's been covered here, the great staggering thing is that the fourth in line, and you can make an argument that 1, 2, and 3 have to go, and the fourth in line is the guy who won the coin toss.
Right, it was that.
The vote tied.
Yeah, it was that close.
And he won. He called heads, and it came up heads. That's the only reason otherwise that would be a Democrat, and at the bare minimum, at least there wouldn't be a changeover in party power right before redistricting. Though I understand why Democrats are like, no, we're not ceding this to a Republican. Although I think they could get down to, I think 1 and 2 could go, and you could get to number 3. That guy, because there's no photo of it, and he was younger. He might be able to, but I mean, it's staggering how many people. And I don't also. Here's why I don't like what Cory Booker said, and I'll be done.
Okay.
I don't believe he's had white friends come up to me and say, "What's the deal with blackface?" It just doesn't seem like a conversation.
Yeah,
that doesn't feel.
That's another thing that politicians say. You know,
are his friends 13? You know what I mean? And somebody pointed out, like, Cory Booker is 49 years old. Where have your friends been?
Yeah.
White people don't necessarily understand your outrage. I mean, honestly, that's just the truth of it. There's lots of things that I've seen people be outraged about that I'm like, what are you mad about? What's the big deal? I don't get it. So just because you think that they should all understand this is common knowledge, everybody should understand this, not necessarily the case. Knowledge is not as common as you might think it is. Okay? So let me know what you think down below. Are the Young Turks being outrageous here with their request that people just all agree with them that this was a terrible racist thing that this person did, and that Booker should have totally backed the black race? Even though if you look at him, he looks pretty light skinned to me. He might only be half or even a quarter black is all. I don't know his ethnic background. He's never even taken a genetic test, so it's none of my business. It doesn't even freaking matter, honestly. The job should go to the person who puts in the effort, presents themselves as the person who's capable of doing it, and that should be the bottom line. That's it. That's really all that matters. Okay? That's what this country was founded for. We're supposed to be like, it doesn't matter what you look like on the outside. It doesn't matter which God you believe in or how you prefer to worship God. What matters is you can do the job. You can be a productive member of civilization. You follow the law. This has been The Ordeal. Like I said, let me know what you think down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you next time.